We're going to do a new one. Anyways, hello everyone. Welcome to the CollingsThodeNetwork. We're back again with our Panthers Mock Draft 4.0. You guys have been showing a ton of love to these in the past weeks, and we're officially a month in, so I can't wait to jump into this. Again, the support that these videos have been getting, the numbers that they've been doing have blown my mind. I mean, to any big YouTuber, it would literally be nothing, but to me, it means the world. So thank you, everyone. As we're hopping in, this one, again, I listen to the support occasionally. I read the comments most of the time, and this time I'm actually going to do something about it. So I heard a comment that was, one, the trades were a little too unrealistic, and sure, I agree. I fully agree. It was for fun, unrealistic. This time, we're going to go a lot more realistic. We're going to make maybe a trade, if that, but more likely than not, I think I'm just going to stand by with the Panthers picks. I'm also going to do the offseason here, and we're going to try to fly through it. Another comment I got was that the Panthers are most likely only going to restructure 2 contracts and sign or cut a guy. And that guy specifically mentioned Andy Dalton. So as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to listen to my commenter. I'm going to try it. We're going to run the experiment where we cut Andy Dalton officially. Now, with that, I'm going to make my own cut, of course. That's going to be Ashton Robinson. We're going to save $9.5 million for a guy that's bad, straight up, if we're just being honest with each other. I don't like watching Ashton Robinson play. So there's my 2 cuts. Now I get 2 restructures. I think we're going to restructure I think we got to restructure the contract of Robert Hunt, given his injury last year. I think there's room for Dan Morgan to make some room, but he did just sign that contract, so maybe not. Maybe we'll just stick to a Derek Brown restructuring because he's been on that contract for a good while now, I think 2 years now. And then for the other restructure, we're going to do Taylor. Ooh, not cut. Whoa. Whoa, that would have been bad. We're going to restructure Derek Brown, and then we're going to restructure Taylor Moton. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Just those 2 guys are getting restructured, and then just these 2 guys are going to get cut, leaving us with $40 million. A lot more than I even thought. So trying to listen to you guys. Of course, leave comments for any suggestions you want for next week's mock draft and any other videos you want me to make. As now we're going to hop into resignings, franchise taggings, and whatever else. And I think the first thing I'm going to do, and it's a first, I'm going to franchise tag Rico Dowdle. Yeah, I'm changing up the pace here. We're doing something completely different. And while I don't think the Panthers will do this in real life, so no, probably not realistic, I can't really think of who else we would be franchise tagging this year. Maybe it is a Josh Nijman because he's going to have to play a big role. Maybe it's a Braden Christensen because we know he has to step up as well. Maybe it's a Cade Mays. Oof, no, it's definitely not going to be Cade Mays. That's an expensive franchise tag. Holy moly. Yeah, I'm just looking through these names. I really don't know who else we'd be franchise tagging, but I guess Rico Dowdle. So for $14 million, we're doing it. Rico Dowdle, welcome back. Now I'm not going to be signing any running backs. I might draft one late, but even then, I don't think so. So that's going to give us $25 million to cook here, and we'll see what we can do with it. As the first thing I always do, bring back a few of these depth wide receivers. I know David Moore likes to take $1.2 million, and I know for a fact, shout out to this website, totally unrealistic, but I'm going to be able to get Jalen Coker for $1 million. Now, who knows what happens in real life with that? I'm also going to get Bryson Tremaine back just for depth. I love having the depth of a Bryson Tremaine. But to go with that, I don't know. I think that's going to be it. We're going to take a long look here at a James Mitchell potentially just because he's been around forever, but I think I'm good on that. Other than that, though, we do need Josh Nijman coming back to this team really badly given our injury status. Same with a Jake Curhan. All this to say, I might still draft a guy in this upcoming draft. Shout out to Jake Curhan for taking 1.2. Christensen, we need. That's an absolute need. I'm willing to spend $2 million without question on Brady Christensen. Not 21. Not 21. Don't panic, everyone. Don't listen to me panicking either. Austin Corbet, again, listening to y'all. We're not going to touch him with a 10-foot pole. Now, Cade Mays, this is the tough one. If we want to re-sign Cade Mays, I have to use 11 of our $17 million remaining, and I don't think I can do that. I just don't think it's something I could stomach. So I'm sorry, Cade Mays, you're going to have to walk. You're going to test free agency. I'm going to either draft a top guy, or we're going to see about the some of the top centers out there. As I'm going to go pull up some NFL free agency. Why do I YouTube search something or not YouTube? Why do I Google search something and then my search history comes up instead? That's pretty fun. As centers, I'm gonna look at market value. Again, the center position gets paid. Good for them at that. Cade Mays' market value in real life is $12.26 million. Good for him. Very deserved. I'm gonna look for a guy like Luke Fortner for maybe $6 million if he's in free agency. So just like that, we're leaving it. We're moving on to the defense. I like a guy like Gibson if I could get him for 1.1. Okay, I'm gonna have to try 1.2 for Gibson. He actually made a huge impact down the season for us, as well as Incoom. I quite liked Incoom as well. Incoom will take 1.1. Thank you. And then Isaiah Simmons. I feel like I say this every week, but these guys, and shout out to Ejiro Evero, got a ton of value. Isaiah Simmons doesn't want 1.1. He will want 1.2. Again, I got to be careful with how much money we're going into free agency because we still have to bring in a star middle linebacker. Star is a stretch, but a really good one. And I still have to bring in a stud. I still have to bring in a stud center. This is going to be tough. I can't make any more Oh, no. This is so tough, y'all. I got to go cheap on center. We're going to look for Austin Schlottman, as he is only worth 2.2 mil. I could maybe sign him for 2 mil because I need to bring in a safety and a middle linebacker here and a center. I'm going to try to limit myself to only bringing in 3 guys and then going in free agency or not free agency into the draft for corner depth, I guess, here because I don't want to bring back Rochelle. I need to go into free agency with this 13.99 mil. So that also means Roseboom, Shirellis, gone. Gonzo. And that also goes for bringing back any of these linebackers. Same with, this is going to be tough. I don't think the Sim's going to be very nice to us, but all right, I have to do it. I have to bring back Damani Richardson because for $1 million, I'm going to do that every single time. Now we're going into free agency, $3 million. Sam Martin wants at least like $3 million, if not more. And J.J. Jensen wants 1.2. So, yeah. This is going to be interesting, I tell you that. So, we're going to hop into this. I guess the first thing I'm going to try to be grabbing here, again, keyword try, is a middle linebacker. Now, I've done this quite a few times. I know that guy Leo Chanel is the only linebacker doesn't work. But because we only have $12.998 million, and because of his price point, Leo Chanel has to be my guy. He's going to pair with Trevin Wallace, and if I bring in a rook, which I'm definitely going to at this point, as we all know as Panther fans, that's the biggest need for this team. Another comment that I was getting in the past was all about how we don't need to bring in a tight end because Canales doesn't call plays for tight ends, and hey, there's a point to that. There is a point to that. I can't lie to you there. So we're going to go down. We're going to hope that Leo Chanel is in this list. And he is. So we don't have to pivot. We're going to see if he'll take 4. That just made this a lot more interesting. As now I got 8.9. A huge boost. I thought it was going to be way worse. Holy, that's awesome. Now, looking at the free safeties, in the $6 to $7 million range, I'm looking at maybe a guy like Dane Belton from the Giants, 25 years old, $6 million in market value. It's either going to be him or, this guy I want more. His name, Nick Cross. little younger at 24.4, played for the Colts defense. And while I'm not super in tune with every defensive player in the league, you got to assume that if you play on that vaunted Colts defense, you got to be pretty good. Now, looking at this guy, I want to see his... he was a third-round pick, so that gives me hope. That gives me hope that he's pretty good. As a safety, he made 120 tackles, 1 interception. Nick Cross. I wish I knew your height and weight to compare you to Trevon Moehrig, because that's really what matters here, because they're going to be playing together. Either way, let's go look for our guy. In the safeties, I scrolled way too far. We got to get to Nick Cross. We found him. I'm going to make sure I went and click on the right guy, because I definitely do not want Nick Scott back on this team. We all know how well that went for us, as I'm just going to offer him a flat 6, I think. And he takes it. All right. That leaves us $3 million to bring in a new center, which is extremely, extremely needed. Yeah. Well, let's try it. Again, looking at the centers, I did say I had some guys I like. Again, I don't have a ton of money, but I have a good feeling about Austin Schlottman, but he's not here. So they re-signed him. That's not good for me, as we might look for a Matt Hennessy. Matt Hennessy played in the injury-riddled land of San Francisco. That's good. Okay, he's here. We're going to give him $2 million flat, and he takes it. Now, can I find a player that will only want basically $1 million? Probably. Let's look real quick. Last thing this team needs. It says corner, but I disagree. But maybe because we only have 4 on the active roster, it's saying that, yeah, you need more than just 4, which I know. Bad roster construction by me. Maybe not my finest hour. We're trying a really difficult version of this. So going into market value, Jeff Okudah. It says that he is worth $989,000 in market value. And so if that's the case, that's perfect. And funnily enough, it's actually a name I know. Shout out to Nolan of the CollingsThodeNetwork. Lions legend Jeff Okudah. There's so many cornerbacks, y'all. Not here. That's too bad. So the next thing might be a guy like Jasir Taylor, but I don't really even want him because he was on the Jets, and the Jets didn't get a single interception all season. I don't really want that, but I don't really know what else we got, y'all. So we're going to give you 990-000. I rejected it. Oh, well. Let's get into this draft. Let's complete free agency. We're only going to bring in 3 guys. Nick Cross, Leo Chanel, Matt Hennessy. It's going to be tough. This draft matters a ton, and I'm not making any trades, so we're on the ultimate hard mode for this mock draft. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the mock draft. This is what you've all been waiting for. This is what a lot of people will skip forward to. I can't wait to take you along for the ride. No, I'm not trading with the Bears again. That went so well last time. Actually, it did. I'll take Bryce Young every day. I don't like any of these trades, especially not trading with the Rams. We saw that worked for the Falcons. I'm good. As Kenyon Sadiq goes the pick before us. And so that changes things. That changes things a ton. I love going Kenyon Sadiq. I think he's going to be fantastic. But in this, nope. Looking at the draft here, we got Mendoza first. Tyson, too. This is a weird one. Love 3. Oof. This is a really weird one. Well, we're going to run with it anyways, as I see a guy here I like and has been rumored to go to the Panthers considering the Ikeyama Okongwu injury. I haven't drafted him once in this, but I really do like him as a prospect. Don't get me wrong. 6'6", 369. Come on down, Caden Proctor. Maybe on this, it does have Ikeyama Okongwu's injury. He's going to miss the entire season. If that's the case, then there's no one else I would rather have on the line, as we have a couple of guys here that have fallen deep in the draft. That's AJ Hockley. I think that's Hall Key. Sorry. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I like these guys, but I think I'm going to go with someone that I went before. I've seen mocked to the Panthers at 19. We're going Cassius Howell. The commenters loved the Cassius Howell pick last time, so I'm doing it for you guys. We're going to focus extensively on defense in this draft here, as that's a trade I'm going to do. I said I was going to keep it light. I think 83 and 199 for 95 and 125. I'll do that. That doesn't feel so unrealistic. Let me know if it is in the comments, of course. I want to hear about it. As we have more picks here, we've so far gone offensive tackle edge. I'm going to be looking to bring in more pieces to that cornerback room to go along with Mike Jackson, who's broken out as a star, and then J.C. Horn, who we know is great. I'm hoping that Corey Thornton is going to come back and be healthy off what is a scary injury. But either way, we're going to bring in Jaden Stukes to hopefully right the ship here. As our next pick might just be that one. Nah, it is right here, 119, and then we're going to get 125. So we're going to have two options here. I think bringing in a guy like Lander Barton is probably going to be our best move here, bringing in more linebackers, because, again, I didn't re-sign any, and I only brought in one. So, again, I'm looking at Jalen Kilgore. I'm liking it, but I'm not liking it enough to bring it in. So I'm good there. I'm going to stick with what we got here. I see Kilgore stayed. Do I like him enough to take him? Yes, I do. And there's more safety help. Of course, the team needs there on the top of the screen says edge, safety, corner, offensive tackle, and tight end. We're suiting a lot of those needs here. I think I'm going to continue to look defense here. There's a lot of good wide receiver talent here. I like me some Malachi Fields. I like him a lot, especially given the names here. Not a ton of defensive options other than Tim Keenan. I just don't think Tim Keenan's good enough to offset what a depth wide receiver at the 5th round could do for us. So, yeah, come on down, Malachi Fields. And then we have a pick right here. I could take my pick of anyone that I just missed out on pretty much. Sadly, Tim Keenan went the pick right after. So with this pick, what is going to be... I think I got two more... No, this is it for my draft. And I don't have a punter. I hate to make this my final pick, y'all, but this looks like it's going to be it. As I'm just going to slow scroll just to see if I'm missing something. You never know. Sometimes, the brain goes a little faster than the fingers. But no, that is going to be it. This is our last pick of the draft. We don't have a punter going into next year. And as much as I hate to waste a pick on a special teamer, I don't know how good we're going to be in the sim if we don't have one of the key positions of special teams. So as horrible as it is to go punter this early, I got to do it. Come on. I usually go Jack Stonehouse, but we're going to go Brent Thompson this time. And that's going to be it. Let me know if that was a stupid pick. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't. We'll see how this season pans out in the official season predictions. I'm not feeling the most confident. I won't lie. This is definitely the hardest one I've ever done. But there's always a chance. So here we are. Oh, I don't know, but there's only one way to find out, and that's by simulating. So while we do this, I'm excited about this team. If we are able to bring in a guy like Leo Chanel, maybe we bring in a guy like Caden Ellis, maybe it's Matt Milano. Regardless, we need a star linebacker. That's the ends all, bees all, whatever you want to say. We need it. I don't think we're going to be a winning team. Well, we'll be a winning team. We'll at least win 8 wins next season. But will we win more? Most likely not unless we bring in a new linebacker. As we have reached the point of the sim where I say, this ain't so realistic, y'all. 13-4 for Atlanta. Oh, my gosh. We went 7-10. Kind of expected worse, I'll be real. We should have won 8 games, but whatever. Negative 26 point differential, better than this year, better than our negative 69 that we had. A tough strength of schedule, 5-4 is ridiculous. That's going to be up there as one of the highest strength of schedules. San Francisco also had a tough one, still went 11-6, good for them. Washington, got screwed. A 5-7 strength of schedule, as the the Patriots are 5-12. Anyways, 7-10. I don't know. I'll live with that, honestly. I, if you, not what I wanted to do. If you haven't been watching for every single one of our mock drafts that I've done on this channel, I went all in, spent $100 million in one offseason. We went 4-13. So the fact that I only spent, what was it, $20 million this offseason, and we went 7-10, missed the playoffs, but yeah, we put up a good fight. The only thing that sucks about this website is that you don't get to see how the players did. You just get to see the rosters, which one day they'll add statistics here as, yeah, 7-10, third in the division. Not my finest work, y'all, but it's definitely been worse as they just have us being such a streaky team when it comes to losses. That's so disappointing, and the exact opposite of what we saw in real life from the Carolina Panthers. So that's going to do it for the video today, for the stream today. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Till next time, peace.